Hey, Mama, welcome back. I hope that you had a wonderful Christmas, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. And this right here is where you want to be this year to start your health and wellness journey on the right foot. Today, we are talking about guilt free eating, is the first episode in the series. So let's go on and get started.
Hey Mama, welcome to Holistic Health for Moms. Do you want to lose weight and have more energy? Do you find yourself up late at night searching Google about hormones, weight loss, and how to get healthy? Do you wake up with big, ambitious goals only to feel overwhelmed and frustrated when the scale doesn't move and you look 5 months pregnant after eating again? Hey, I'm Jennifer. I'm a mom of 3, a conventional health nurse practitioner that also believes in natural and holistic health. I kept hearing my patients tell me that they were overwhelmed, tired, and couldn't lose weight. They were overwhelmed with all the health and weight loss information out there. It hurt my heart to see women who wanted answers and solutions to only be given prescriptions and vague directions like eat better and exercise. They needed to get out of the traditional healthcare box, and I wanted to help. So I created this podcast. In this podcast, you'll learn about optimizing your health and transforming your mindset. You'll learn about tools to help you build on what you know is right for you and reclaim the energy and health you know you should have. If this sounds like you, raise your hand and say present and accounted for, and let's get this party started.
So let's just go ahead and talk about what is food guilt. Well, definition of food guilt is the negative emotion associated with eating certain foods and foods that are often perceived as unhealthy or off limits. So, for example, like feeling guilty about eating dessert or regretting that snack that you had last night or quote unquote cheating on a diet. Those are all like food guilt examples. Okay. Now, let me preface it with saying it's not your fault. Normally, I don't normally say that as a blanket statement, but unfortunately, because of the culture we live in, dieting is a social norm and it sucks. So, because diet culture and the things that we see on social media, that causes us to see it as like a norm, as a normal thing for people to restrict what they eat, and that foods are quote unquote good or quote unquote bad. Food is neutral. It's neither good nor bad. That's just, whatever. So the diet culture that we live in, promotes retarded ideals, super unrealistic ideals of health and body image. And then it puts restrictive eating patterns on a pedestal, and it jacks with our mind. We think we should be that way. That's how I should be. No. So an example of this would be in a social media post about cutting out carbs. You might oh, you need to cut out your carbs to lose X amount of whatever fat and no, do not make that let you feel guilty about your pasta that you eat. Okay, if you like pasta, eat your pasta. That's all I'm gonna say. Do not let the cultural norms affect how you feel about food, because the culture is jacked. I'm just gonna go and tell you right now, culture is jacked. Let's just not even be a part of that. Okay. Second thing is making food choices like a moral situation. So words like cheat meal or junk food, they just reinforce the thought of that there's a right and wrong way of eating. Okay. And when we use language oh, I ate bad today, or I was, that my food choices were horrible, or I'm so awful, I ate blah 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 blah. Your food choices do not define your character or who you are, And you don't have to feel like you need to quote unquote earn dessert after you've like restricted and ate salad all day long. Like, not it food choices are not moral choices unless it's a religious thing. Obviously, that is, a totally different situation. A lot of times in our childhood, we get messages like, you better clean your plate or you're going to have to go to your room. And, cleaning your plate, you get dessert, or if you don't clean your plate, you have to go to your room. It was either a punishment or a reward. So that kind of gets like stuck in our head. I'm not saying blame your parents. Like, they were doing the best they could, just like we doing the best we can. That's all I'm saying. But we have to get that thought process out of our head. Like, we don't like reward ourselves for like cleaning our plate, especially if cleaning our plate makes us feel horrible, right? So like an example of this would be like eating everything on your plate at a restaurant, even when you're full, and then feeling guilty about overeating, right? So your parents taught you like you need to clean your plate. Well, ma'am, you can clean your plate. You can ask for a to-go plate and say, I'm going to eat that for later. Eat half now, eat half later. You've still cleaned your plate, right? Friends and family can also have influences, and they may be unintentional. They may be intentional. There might be some like shaming going on in your family, all in the name of love. We're just picking on you because we love you. No, that's not cool, and that needs to be brought to light. That's not cool. And so feeling guilty about indulging in like comfort food from your particular like culture or something that your family enjoys, if you feel guilty about that because that's not quote unquote healthy by like mainstream standards, like, don't. You should not feel guilty. You should enjoy what your family enjoys, but everything in moderation, right? Okay. And then comparing ourselves to others, like watching others and what they eat and their wellness routines. Like, we as women compare ourselves. Oh, I should be doing that, or I should be doing this, or I should be lifting weights, or I should be running. Like, quit shoulding on yourself. Okay? You do you and be proud of it. All right. So, after having said all of that and using those specific like scenarios, let's just talk about the impact that food guilt has on us. So emotionally, it can cause stress and anxiety because we're constantly worrying about food choices and it creates like a mental like strain, right? We feel shame. It makes our self-esteem lower. We feel like we're weak and we don't have enough willpower. And then that causes us to start obsessing over food and food rules, and it gets out of hand, right? Physically, we start restricting, and then when we restrict, we like eventually start binging and overeating, and then it's just like a very horrible cycle to get into. And then once you get into that cycle of restricting and binging and restricting and overeating, then that jacks with your metabolism. And that is something we do not want to do, okay? And then also like stress eating, like the guilt stress cycle where we eat and then we feel guilty and then we get anxious and then we eat because it makes us feel better and then we feel guilty and then we're anxious. Like, it is a very vicious cycle. Now, I say all of that about food guilt to say you are not alone in this feeling, right? You're not alone. There are other women out there that are struggling with the same situation. The first step to overcoming This is to realize that that is what you are feeling, okay? The second thing is to figure out why. Like, why do I feel like I need something sweet to eat at night to make me chill? Or if I get upset, why do I find myself in the pantry looking for a cookie or something to eat? Why is that? Like, what am I trying to feel on the inside with a cookie? Like, what can meet that need other than a cookie or chips or a Reese cup or, whatever your thing is, okay? And then understanding food guilt also helps us open the door to like a healthier, more enjoyable relationship with food. Like, how amazing would it be to just be able to sit at a table with friends and family and not look at your plate and think, oh my God, I shouldn't eat this. Oh my God, I'm going to feel so awful. Oh my God, I'm going to overeat. Oh my God, is this going to make my stomach hurt? Oh my gosh, this is going to give me, oh my God. Like, just to sit down, eat, enjoy a meal, not count calories in your head, not count macros in your head, and just enjoy the people around you. How amazing would that be? So, if this resonates with you in any way, I would encourage you, first of all, to pray about it, because this year, and with Holistic Health for Moms, holistic health is the whole person. So the person, the family, the spiritual health, the mental health, the physical health, all of the things. This year, I want us to be in prayer constantly for ourselves, for our families, for our friends, for our nation, for our schools, like police officers, like everybody. Okay, we want to be in prayer. So for this specific instance, I want you to be in prayer. Ask God to reveal to you, like, am I struggling with food guilt? Is that what I'm struggling with? If it is, like I said, the first step to overcoming it is recognizing it. Okay. Second thing, if you realize you are struggling with food guilt, again, pray about it. Ask God to help you to open your eyes to what you need to do. Okay. I personally have a course called the Healthy Habits Blueprint that is like a roadmap to help you to change that thought process around food and the good and the bad and the shoulding and the all of the things, right? So if this resonates with you and you want to, go to jennifercoble.com/course, and you will find there a course with 3 modules. It is made for busy women who are ready to get started on a healthy lifestyle, not diet, lifestyle, okay? Something that you can live out for the rest of your life and be an example for your family and the ones that you love, okay? Change what you eat, change your thought process, change your body, all of the things. So head over to jennifercoble.com/course and check that out. And as always, if you have questions, please send me a message at support@jennifercoble.com. And otherwise, I hope y'all have a fantastic Monday. That is a wonderful start to the new year. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Okay, Mama, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds and subscribe to my email list? By signing up, you get my free meal planning template to help you start optimizing your health today. Also, if you could leave me a review, this helps this podcast rate, helps more sisters see it, and it lights me up to know this podcast is helping you. Okay, time to go make sure the clothes are washed, ball uniforms are ready, and snacks are prepared for this week full of games and chaos. I'll meet you back next week for another episode. Have a great week, sister.